You live here?
Yes.
Well, maybe you know what a zombie is.
When a person dies and is buried, it seems there's certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
Horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
I'm trying it again. Happy Thursday, everyone. Your friendly neighborhood conservative ex-con here. Me and my stubbornness. Had to try it again. I wasn't too happy yesterday. My video sucked. It's kind of stressful. You wouldn't believe. Excuse me 1 second. Let's see if I'm even on. And hopefully it's not as choppy as it was yesterday because I am using the computer again because I'm stubborn. Okay, come on. Work. Anyway, until it does, TDS, let's cure it because it's making people do crazy shit. Anyway, welcome to the Common Sense and Random Shit Show. Because it is what it is. Like the way I did that voice. Yeah. Anyway, it's working. I'm silly. Anyway, yeah, yesterday sucked. I was so pissed off. Did not work. It was from my phone. And I yes, granted, I had a better camera, but it wasn't working. I watched it after and I was like, oh, I'm talking. And it's like, hey, Mr. Roboto Conservative. That's what it was. So I was pretty pissed off. And then this old ass computer with Windows 7 wasn't working. So it was, I don't know. It just, for some reason, yesterday was saying, F you, Fernando. We hate you. It's whatever. Anyway, let me get to what it is, because it is. Just saying. Anyway, I don't know. Hopefully this continues to work like it's working today. So far, it's working, because I want it to work so that it works and I can work it. First off, as I say every day, I might not say it in the beginning, but breaking news, this is not the place. This is the place where this guy scours the internet, YouTube, ScrewTube, and I find shit that I want to share. Always putting links in the description to the people that I share because they're talented. This guy, I got some talent. To make you laugh, to entertain you, to show you the nonsense, the common nonsense that's out there. So that way you don't have to look. If you rather just watch it all from me instead of scouring and looking at different things and looking for channels and searching, understand. It's like Tim Pool said a couple weeks ago. I was watching a video he put out. The algorithm. If you hate Trump and post shit, you're done. You're rich. You're making freaking crazy likes, follows, viral videos because everybody hates Trump. Everybody has TDS. But if you don't have TDS and you're trying to cure it, you're pretty much cut off. Anyway, meme the left, pretty much, because it's comical. Everything that's been going on. Everything. But in a funny way. So let me find the video. Solo dolo, as this guy always says. I'm doing everything by myself, and so far it is working. Let's see here. So anyway, as I said, Common Sense and Random Shit Show. And the first thing that I always have to go to is These guys. Check them out. They're awesome.
Hey, MAGA. Is he dead yet? That's the only thing, the only conversation that I want to have with you.
Oh my God. So they're saying that Joe Biden has prostate cancer. When is it Trump's turn?
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
If you're immediately reprimanding instead of listening and understanding, if you're offended by people's lived experiences, you're the problem. Oh!
You think we could listen to the radio or something?
If you're a woman with an Adam's apple, you're my sister. If you're a woman with a 5 o'clock shadow or a full beard, you're my sister. If you're a woman with a deep voice, you're my sister. If nobody knows yet, you're my sister.
Whatever you think of Hunter Biden, there is a certain kind of like cruelty to the campaign against him. Where is Hunter? Where is Hunter? Where is Hunter? After his brother died, he cheated on his wife with his brother's widow and then got her addicted to crack. Unethical, sleazy, and prone to horrible decisions.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Bad news. What?
Anyway, last week...
Women didn't have the right to vote until 1920. Women couldn't open a bank account in the United States until 1974.
When did men get the right to vote?
Oh, okay, I know this is exactly what you were talking about. This is what you're known for, is like getting people on a technicality that we don't historically know. But the answer to that is no. The answer to that
The answer is that's no?
No, the answer to that is the fact that in 1920, everyone was given the right to vote, but there were still barriers to vote for people of color.
When did men get the right to vote?
The right to vote was guaranteed to all people in 1920, according to the 1920.
Yeah, before 1920, were all men allowed to vote?
No.
Yeah, George, rest in peace. I used to love that show. Cheers. George went. Yes, cheers. Rest in peace. I just saw this the other day. Did I do it? Pause! Common sense and random shit show. Because it's a shit show. So if you're a man and have a beard, you're my sister. No, you're not. You're a man. 2 genders. You're a man. You're not even my brother. If you're trying to say you're a woman, you're not even my friend. Just saying. As I always say, I'm here to entertain you, try to make you laugh. I am no comedian. I just can't help to laugh at the bullshit and can't help pointing it out, even though it's somebody else pointing it out and I share their shit. Because, I mean, who doesn't share other people's stuff? I mean, why would anyone have an issue with that? Sharing their stuff so more people could see, even though 2 people maybe watch me live because it's early and this face is not viral yet. I hope someday. Cup. Coffee. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. I think it's Ridiculousity next. Let's find out. Is it? Oh, is it? It is!
Given the revelations with President Biden's cancer diagnosis and the release of the Herb reporting, why were Democrats not more open to talking about President Biden's age in 2024?
My thoughts and prayers have been extended to President Biden. It's a painful moment for him and his family. It's a very serious diagnosis. My expectation that President Biden is going to meet this moment with the courage and resilience that he's consistently shown. Seems to me entirely inappropriate that at this moment in time, when President Biden is dealing with a serious and aggressive form of cancer, there are Republicans who are peddling conspiracy theories and want us to look backward at a time when they actually are taking health care away from the American people. No, as House Democrats, we're going to look forward. They literally are trying to take health care away from millions of Americans at this very moment in the dead of night.
Lies.
Republicans want to fan the flames of conspiracy theories at this moment? No, thank you.
There are Republicans who are peddling conspiracy theories and want us to look backward.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why can't for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
Wow.
She knows so long ago she was 9.
He's as sharp as a tack. He's fired.
Why the hell would I take a test?
You know, it's sad. I won't lie. You know, the way they took advantage of this old guy. And, you know, I've said before, granted, these people are evil. They're evil. There's no other way to explain it. They do not love this country. They're Marxists. But they took advantage of this old guy. You know what I'm saying? Because even my mom, when she voted for Biden, she was like, oh, you know, the old guy, blah, blah, blah. Plus, you know, somebody feeding her stuff from the liberal media, parroting stuff into her ear, and her, you know, not knowing any better. Because as I've said many times, growing up in a very liberal state, most minorities, especially Puerto Rican Americans living in Hartford, Connecticut, we were comfortable. We didn't know much. Not that we're dumb. It's just we didn't care. We were okay. We were comfortable. And that was that. But I do have family members who hate Trump, have TDS. There's no curing them. No matter how good Trump does, they're going to hate him. Why? Because they're too prideful to admit that this guy, since the TDS left my body like a possession, like the evil demon inside of me, you know, because I had TDS, but it wasn't for anything he did. I had TDS for what they told me he did, or they told me he said, or they said he did. Probably the same thing I said in the beginning, but I'm just saying. But, you know, as Amadeo always tells me, during COVID, I still had TDS. I mean, I was watching CNN with I forgot what they call that thing in the bottom, the Shamar, whatever the hell it's called. My sister and I were preparing for an apocalypse with CNN, the way they posted stuff, you know, and everything everyone said, or the neighborhood, you know, because I just, it blows my mind how much I hated Trump until I started working at this job. And, you know, my boss, my friend, just kept saying, dude, do your research, as I tell you. Breaking news, not here, but I will say, if you want to follow someone, not mainstream, as YouTube, Spotify account, DeVory Darkins, link will be in the description. Check him out, because he gives you the option to basically take it or leave it. Also gives you a very informative link called Ground News. I looked it up. I checked it out. It's actually very interesting. It actually tells you who is reporting what. You know, it's whether it's left, right, and, you know, you could do your research. You decide for yourself what you want to believe. But if you have common sense, you're going to say, you know what? Yeah, you know what? That makes more sense than that. Just saying. Everything they've been saying about Trump has been debunked. Just do your research. Genius, I am not. I say over and over, I'm not here for this shit. I'm just pointing funny shit out because it's funny. It's funny how these people are. They're crazy. So am I. Anyway, next video. Let me see. Replace. This is so much easier when I'm doing from the computer. The phone is kind of aggravating, but let's see here. I believe this is the United Spot. I think. I hope so. Yeah, check them out.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Not a chance. It's a cover-up. Yeah. Hillary and Bill Clinton were behind the whole thing. The whole thing. And the client list, stacked. Prince Andrew, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, you name it. They're on it. Yep. The Clintons, they ran the whole show. I got names, dates, Go on. Go on with what? Yeah, you were saying how you had names, dates, flight logs. I don't remember saying that. Do you remember me saying that, Cash? No, I don't remember you saying that, Dan. Tell me more about how Epstein didn't kill himself. I don't know what you're talking about. Epstein killed himself. Yeah, he did. He did it all by himself. Yeah, nobody helped him. Jeez. But you just said he didn't kill himself. What? I think we're having like a Mandela effect moment here, Cash. Yeah, I think this reporter's having like a midlife crisis. Are you going through menopause? Or yeah, I mean, there's just no way me or Dan would ever say Jeffrey.
You know, I gotta break into this for a second. I have mad respect for Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, but this is some funny shit because of what's going on and people losing their shit about what they said the other day about Epstein actually committing suicide. But I won't get into it. You know, Dan used to always say, give it some time. You know what I'm saying? Let it ferment to see what comes up. But anyway, this is a funny kind of way to put what's going on. Just saying.
Epstein didn't kill himself. I mean, you must have misunderstood me. I was sitting right here. Yeah, I think what you heard was Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself. Yep, totally a suicide. Yep. I mean, the guy just tied a bedsheet like a pro. He's good. I mean, case closed. Yep. Wait, so you're saying it was a suicide and there was no conspiracy? Oh, yeah. Yep. I mean, totally. Super straightforward. I mean, Epstein was just really good at knives. Yeah, it was like a Boy Scout. Yeah, I mean, there was no foul play. No clients. And nothing to see. Case closed. Okay, but what about the client list? I mean, the media says there's arrests coming. The media? I mean, you gonna believe those liars? There's zero clients. I mean, like, the list is like basically a blank post-it. Yeah, I mean, named Clinton, Gates, and Prince Andrew. I didn't say that. I mean, I didn't hear him say that. Yeah, I mean, there's no clients? No, I mean, just it's like a myth, like Bigfoot or affordable gas. So there's nobody on the client list at all? Client list? I mean, it's like more like an empty grocery list. Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested for trafficking in 2020. Yeah, so I mean, but how do you traffic with no clients? I don't know. It's like it's like one of those weird phenomena. Yeah, like the Loch Ness monster, or like Bigfoot. Yeah, well, that clears it up. Epstein did kill himself. Yep, 100%. Case closed.
Much respect to Kash and Dan. So, you know, this stuff that's going on with, I don't know, you know. Sure, this is why once in a while I say I'm Epsteined, because keep my mouth shut at home because I don't want to get it. Anyway, yeah. Next up, before I get Epsteined, just saying, yeah. AI Barry.
Joe Biden has stage 4 prostate cancer. I'm sorry, Jill. I'm sure it's hard to hear this for the first time again. It's just so out of nowhere. I mean, for years I pretended he was in perfect health. Just this morning I saw him put his shoes on in under 30 minutes. Tell me honestly, doctor, is my Joe too sick for us to pretend he's running for president again in 2028? Well, yes, Jill, he has stage 4 prostate cancer. But maybe instead you could pretend he's the president of an HOA or a book club. If we can't pretend he's president again, it may be time to put him down.
Wait, in 2018 I had a whole I was running for a re-election and anyway.
Are you sure there's no way for us to keep pretending he's perfectly fine, doctor? There's a drug called NCT. I saw it in a movie with Bradley Cooper. Anyone who takes it experiences heightened physical dexterity and cognitive ability. Maybe if you give Joe one of these pills, his body would pretend to heal itself. Here, Jill, have Joe take this. It's the last of my NCT supply. You're doing a great service to democracy, Bradley. Here, buddy, take this. Do you feel any different?
I feel I go for a walk and my son Hunter gave me a deck of cards, said I should pick one, and it's a great skill to have.
Damn it, he's too senile. Even with NCT, it's impossible for us to keep pretending he's in perfect health. I have to call Barack. I think it's time to go to Plan B.
Alright, I'm thinking we go on a press run and basically act like we didn't know and also knew about Joe's health at the same time. And if anyone calls us out for it, we'll just call them anti-democracy.
You know, there are so many conservatives out there who see it how it is. Patriots, Americans, not just Trumpers, just people with common sense. You know what I'm saying? And they're just so much out there. I mean, when I get a newer computer, I can dabble, as you can see, you know, with me. Or is it this guy right here? That's me in prison with my Let's Go Brandon hat that actually flipped around. But anyway, I don't know why I flipped the head around. You know, I put this together. I put the videos together. It takes work. It takes me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to put this together, to go over it, to sort of plan it out how it goes. Yes, I screw up a lot because I'm by myself and I got a shit computer. But it's whatever. I try, you know what I'm saying? And as I'm so pissed off yesterday I had to delete the video because I watched it. I try to see if I can fix it. And here, it's Mr. And it was driving me nuts, and you could hear the voice, but everything was shitty. So I couldn't do it all day. It was like eating at me. You didn't go live, even though I did. You didn't do live. You didn't do, why? Blah, 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 blah. All day. So, yesterday I was off in the afternoon. When I got home, did a few things around the house, took my little shower, ate, took a little nap because I was tired as hell. And my wife was doing her gaming thing. She was, want to watch something? I was like, no, you're playing? That's fine. Keep playing your game. She's playing the new Assassin's Creed, which is pretty badass. Ninjas and samurais. I said, you know what? Keep playing your game. And while she was playing her game, I was doing the editing, uploading, downloading, getting ready for today, with fingers crossed that when I got on this computer today, for some reason, it wasn't confused or, acting like the rotting bag of oatmeal. That's kind of sad. I used to say that. As I said, when everything was going on, I used to tell my mom, I said, listen, I don't hate Biden. You need to understand something. I don't hate Biden. I just feel sorry for him because these people are taking advantage of him. This is before all this shit popped out. It's like they're taking advantage of him. Look at him. Look at him. He doesn't know what he. I mean, we had old people in our family, like grandfather, how many Americans see this and say, yeah, that guy's not all there. So who was behind the, with the pardons that I think, my opinion, Mr. Nobody should be voided, and every person that deserves to be in prison should be. We already know who they are. Every single one of them. America wants it. I keep saying it. We want these people in jail for everything they did against America. Plain and simple. We're not going to judge you. The liberal media, of course they're going to judge you. They have TDS. It is what it is. Anyway, hashtag walkaway. This video I posted before. I've shared it. I think this is, to me, one of the most impactful ones because it comes from a minority who may have had or not a past like mine, or comes from an area like mine, who knows. But I'm sure there are a lot of Americans who are waking up to the bullshit and walking away, some running away. But as I said, he sounds articulate, sounds smart, no matter what color he is. Because come on, Puerto Rican American, I'm a brown skinned guy. This guy, to me, anyone, family members that grew up where I grew up, my age, that have similar paths on, should listen to this guy and say, you know what? Even if an iota of what he said hits you, I hope it did. I don't know. When I first saw this, I was kind of speechless. I was like, shit, I need to post this as much as possible. Guys, hashtag walkaway, look them up. Every video is interesting. Some of them are a little long. Some of them are a few minutes long. This is only a few minutes long, but very impactful. Check it out. I think this is very interesting.
I am so tired of these diluted American brains that are listening to this theater script play out on television, telling them that reality is one thing, and they're not smart enough to step out their door and realize reality is completely different. We have the news telling us white supremacy is one of the biggest threats to our country. We have people telling us that the conservatives are the same as the neo you-know-whats. They have people saying that ultra MAGA is violent. They have people saying that Trump's trying to overthrow democracy. They have people saying that all of the violence and the civil unrest and the inflation and everything is conservative, Trump fault. And I'm tired of it. If you aren't smart enough to step outside your door and look around and be like, all right, hold up. This theater that I'm watching inside isn't matching what's going on outside. Learn to do your own research. I am tired of you guys just running around, I'm a proud American, and then opening your mouth to be spoon-fed information so you can palate it. Because if you ever had to draw your own conclusion or connect your own dots, you would be completely lost and probably dye your hair purple. There is one president in this race that had an assassination attempt taken against him. As a matter of fact, if you think back to the last president that had an assassination attempt taken on him that has gotten this close, you're going to go back a ways. And if you actually look at the presidents that were assassinated and you look at what they were doing to the government money, you would realize the reason they're getting taken out isn't because some random Joe Schmo downtown doesn't want that president. It's because the system feels threatened. It's not some random person that's living out in the country that's like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take out Donald Trump. No, this is a systematic approach, right? Their first approach was, hey, we're going to make sure that Joe Biden gets elected and we're going to make sure he gets the votes. He got the votes. Boom. This time around, they were going to do the same thing. They were going to put Joe out there. He was going to get a landslide of votes. Joe was going to win again. But here's the thing. They decided instead of trying to do anything risky, let's just put our opponent in prison. Let's do it the legal way. Let's send him through the judicial system, get him locked up so he can't run for president. And that failed. And as a matter of fact, it garnished more support for Donald Trump. So they were like, oh crap, Joe Biden, you got to get out there and debate. You got to make sure we can sell how many votes you're going to get and people are going to believe it. But guess what? Joe went up there and fumbled the ball. It's not a coincidence that this assassination attempt happened right after Joe Biden completely fumbled the bag on the debate stage. And all of a sudden, even his own supporters are calling for him to step down. And now the system that you supposedly hate but somehow still vote liberal, that system is panicking. And the only other option they have, since they already exhausted the fake vote, they've already exhausted the legal proceedings, and now their only option is left with desperate, take him out. If you guys can't actually see this playing out, then I don't know what you're on, but I'm so sick and tired of the mentality that Americans have, being like, well, no, start paying attention. Start paying attention. The presidents that get taken out are the presidents that threaten the system. The same system that you complain incarcerates black people. The same system that won't give you health care. The same system that's doing everything that you've complained about for decades, yet somehow you keep voting for Joe Biden 1994 crime bill, Kamala Harris imprisoning black people on minor marijuana charges just to put people on our prison workforce. If you don't wake up and smell the freaking flowers, I don't know what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Stop thinking like they're telling you how to think and start thinking for yourself. When you go vote, there's one guy that's taking out the system that hates you, and there's another guy that's making that system stronger. You make that choice.
For more great videos, download the Walkaway Social app at walkawaysocial.com. Share your testimonial and join our community.
Yo. Holy shit. I say again, why is there a black screen? Why is there a black screen? Why is there a black screen? Because I did something wrong, I'm sure. Anyway, let me get out of here. Remove. Guys, you know what this guy calls that you just watched? That was a BAM! Moment. That's what it was. BAM! Moment. A little extreme, but just listen. Let it go in here and stay in there. Don't let it come out and then dye your hair and call Trump a dictator and these people are so angry. Liberals are so angry. You know, I've mentioned this. One of my bosses, not where I'm at, one of my bosses, I remember about 2 years ago, maybe 3. I've been there almost 3 years. I overheard him telling another coworker, God, I hope he dies. I was like, damn, he sounds pissed off. And I asked my coworker, I said, what's he talking about? And he was like, oh, he's talking about Trump. I was like, I'll be honest. You know, I've already woken up from the bullshit. I mean, I felt so uncomfortable. Ever since then, I've been uncomfortable, you know, and granted, that wasn't the reason why my hours became minimal pretty much, because I work 12 hours a week in this job. So it's, you know, even though I have 3 jobs, I'm glad I don't have to spend that much time around him. I've met up with him here and there. He's asked me for favors, and I helped him out with personal favors since then, because I am not a liberal. I'm not angry. I may feel uncomfortable, but one thing you'll realize, as you will see in a lot of these walkaway videos, conservatives don't hate. This guy does. I'm just saying, I hate them all. But most of us almost all of us, we don't hate. We don't act hateful. We're not dumb. The proof is in the pudding. Do your research. All I'm saying. Genius? No. Common sense? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this guy. Solo dolo. Let me look for the next video. It was like some old guy thing I just did. 54 in a couple of months. Crap. More than half of 15th century. Where is it? Here it is. Let me look for live. As I said before, I enjoy doing live. It is what it is. I like the reactionary stuff where I just got to do what I got to do. And let me start this. Ah, no. Where are you going? Where are you going? Go back, go back, go back. Ah, okay. Sort of. Random shit. As I've said before. Not just about politics. I want to be slightly entertaining. I want to talk about a little bit of everything. So when I talk about movies, and you like movies like me, I'm a big movie buff because I grew up like that. You know, my mother's a big movie buff. I can have a conversation all day about movies. So once in a while, when I go into my random shit, I'll show trailers. I'll talk about a subject. You know, the other day I was talking about the apocalypses and how will it end, and I showed a bunch of trailers, some movies that I enjoyed. And as I said before, on Sundays, that's one of those things that I have a list that I should stop saying so much because I listen to my videos. I'm like, oh my God, I say that so much. Stop saying it. But Sundays, it's my wife and I. Leave us alone. We're watching movies or shows or whatever it may be. And there's always something we can watch. You know, we love horror. I'm more of an action. She's more of a horror, but I like horror as well. She has a collection of like Annabelle, The Nun. I've talked about that. And we enjoy horror. So we don't have a list of what we're watching other than the last episode, season finale. But I'm sure we'll have something by tomorrow so we can have planned out always what we're going to eat. And Monday is a holiday, so we're probably going to enjoy 2 days of watching stuff. So I talk about movies all the time. I show trailers. So if you want a day or you have time to watch stuff, catch up on stuff, I escape. To me, movies are an escape. I'm saying from reality. Even if I don't like some of the actors, Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, piece of shit liberals, I take that out of the equation and just watch the talent. Because no matter how bullshit they are with the way they think their politics, I love their stuff. It's whatever. I'm not liberal. I don't hate. Well, I do, but whatever. So, martial artist, American Kempo guy, high-ranking black belt. Just saying. So I like to talk about it. Master Ken is also a Kempo guy. But if you've never seen Master Ken, he talks shit about every martial art. Love that guy, you know, and his buddy that's always with him most of the video, Todd, I believe he's a 3rd or 4th degree black belt in American Kempo, I believe. I could be wrong. And he has a school somewhere, I think. Don't quote me on that. But Master Ken is the shit. Just saying. Guy's hilarious. Check this out. Martial arts. This is a section I love to talk about here and there. And of course, my boy, Master Ken. You already know. All right. Next subject. Let me pause this. Now real martial arts, Kempo. Larry Tatum. He's an actor. He's worked in some movies, you know, years back, you know. Larry Tatum is one of the highest ranking members in the world when it comes to American Kempo Karate. He was a direct student of the godfather of American Kempo, Ed Parker. And, he's up there in age, he's a 10th degree, which is the high ranking, which is a senior master of the arts, 10th degree black belt American Kempo. I've mentioned before, in Kempo, we don't just teach you the movement. We literally explain to you why you're doing the movement and what can happen if something changes. I mean, it's the martial art that I fell in love with. That's why I continued it. That's why I still teach it here and there when I can. And I love showcasing what I can do. I just wish I had a school because, trust me, I'd be doing this myself. Now, Larry Tatum, that crest, that's his crest. Most American Kempo martial artists usually follow the typical crest I've shown before. Look it up at Parker Patch or crest. But this is Larry Tatum's crest. This guy's amazing. I mean, I have the app. Once in a while when I got to cheat because I forget one thing. Because come on, there's 154 base techniques plus extensions, 97 extensions. So every once in a while I'm like, oh shit, I know how to do it, but let me find out exactly if I'm missing something. And he's a great, one of the best. And his movement is up there in age. The guy moves amazing. Watching him, it's like, wow, especially if you're a Kempo guy, no denial. There are others out there, my lineage, Master Lee Westlake, Stephen White out of New Hampshire, Huck Planis has something to do with a little bit of my lineage. These are all senior master instructors, top of the line. But this technique is orange belt technique. It's the first belt, white to orange. White to yellow. There's 10 techniques, and then from then on, it's 24. I'm under the 24 technique system. This technique, it's simple. There goes my headphone. Blah! This technique is called clutching feathers. And in Kempo, feathers means hair. We use names, American names, because it's American Kempo to certain parts of the body. You got your wings, elbow. You got your hammer if the fist is closed and going that way. A mace if the fist is going this way. You got your sword. You got your spear. So there's different, obviously, weapons. Your body is a weapon. So hair, feathers. Kind of makes sense. Call it clutching feathers. Now, there are stances that may confuse you slightly, but if you just look at this video, it's a very easy technique to learn. It's more, to me, if you're a woman, great technique to learn, whether a guy's attacking you or a female, 2 genders. That was 4, 2. But it also worked for a man. I'm just saying, but it's a good self-defense technique. A little bit more advanced than a white belt, but simple enough that if you watch, especially the way Larry explains it, check it out. This is probably the best way to explain this technique. There's more to it, but this is, as I said, simple. Check it out. And we'll see. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Sorry, Spanish, the only video I found. But it's, clutching feathers.
I hope you're ready, so let's get started. Now, the first technique I'm going to teach you today is called clutching feathers. Now, clutching feathers is a unique technique now. It's going to teach more than just hitting your opponent just to hit him or to injure him. You're going to find out in this technique that the injury you cause to your opponent is going to be a very sophisticated move because it's going to cause certain things to happen in your opponent. Now, with the help of Rick. Hi, Rick, how are you doing? Clutching feathers. And when we speak of feathers, we refer to the hair in the Kempo vocabulary. Now, as Rick grabs me, why he's grabbing me could be for many reasons. He could be pulling my head down because he's going to cross-punch me with the right hand, or he could be pulling me into a knee, or whatever. But what I've got to do, I've got to get rid of that grab. And I've got to do it in a way that I'm not hit in the process, and I don't lose my hair. So as I make my first move, what I've got to do is create distance from me in that punch. So I'm going to pin Rick's hand because I want to isolate that grab. I want to regain control. And normally in the Kempo system, when we pin a hand, it's because we want to gain control back again. So I pin the hand, I step back away from that hand. It also puts weight on Rick's left leg. Now that's an angle of disturbance. We put weight up there, so at that point we're canceling his height. He can't kick when there's weight on that leg. Now, the width is canceled on Rick, as you learned in my previous tapes, because of me pulling. All right, at this point now, I'm going to strike a nerve just right under his armpit into the lymph nodes there. Now, the nerve is going to be struck with a middle knuckle. A regular fist, if he squeezes my hair, hold on tight, Rick, is not going to transfer into those nerves, but a middle knuckle, or what we used to call the dragon's head, will reach it. Now this, I'm pinning as I step back, and as I plant, bam, I go right to the nerve, okay? That nerve's going to send a signal right up the arm to let go of the hair, okay? And it's going to further get Rick away and off of me. Okay, now, in this technique, as I strike, I simultaneously, at that point, rake down his arm, pivot to a right forward bow, and do a left heel palm, thrusting heel palm to the bridge of his nose or this chin, depending upon the position of Rick's head as I do this. Okay, now watch this again. Be together, Rick. He steps in and grabs my hair. I step back to get away from getting hit, put some weight on his leg, make my first strike. If he follows up, if he starts to come after me, then this is supported by my stance change into a forward bow. This is all I want you to do for the orange belt level. It's not hard, it's a little sophisticated, but don't forget, as you pin, the head moves back with the leg, so the body works as one unit. I don't want to see this. I don't want you to pin, keep the head here, and then pull back. You'll get hit before you get done. Now the pin and a step, as he starts to punch, everything works together all at once. Everything happens together. And like I said, basically, this is a follow-up. If Rick tries to re-grab or come in with the punch, then we have the follow-up at this point. Thank you, Rick.